I'm recording this in June of 2021, and there's a lot of discussion about rising prices and whether we have transitory inflation or if we have a more permanent trend like we did in the 1970s, or worse yet, in Weimar 1920s, right? And I want to point out that even if inflation really is transitory, which is a big if, that doesn't mean prices go up and then they come back to normal. That means that we have a period of time where our dollar literally loses some amount of value and then it stops losing value, right? Even in the 1970s, we went to 12% inflation and then we came back supposedly to 1 or 2%. We never regained that 12% that we lost. Or that was a permanent tax, even if it was only a one-time tax of 12% of your savings, right? Yesterday, I had a funny experience with inflation. I went to look up at reopenings. I wanted to see if I could potentially go to my favorite vacation destination, Gdansk Bay, Poland, sometime this summer. Belarus had reopened, not Poland, and I wanted to see if it were possible to sneak their fly to Belarus and then take a train or something to Poland. That's a little bit iffy too because they do have a border, so I'm going to have to wait for the reopening. And then I checked to see what the flights and the hotels would look like. And I looked and I thought, hey, this is pre-pandemic pricing. That's not so bad. And then I looked more carefully for the airfare. Once you click on it, there's a bunch of taxes and fees that are added. And the cost of the airfare before the taxes and fees today was very similar to after the taxes before the pandemic. See, I wasn't even sure if I remembered it correctly. I thought maybe it was before taxes the time before, because it had been 4 years since I had gone there. So I actually went back to my old credit card statements, and sure enough, what they charge now before taxes and fees is similar to what was charged after 4 years ago when I was there in 2017. And it just reinforced the idea that this isn't inflation. This is an additional tax, right, of our savings. Every $1,300 or so that you thought you had saved up, an extra $400 was taxed from you, right? This is a tax. This is not an inflation. It certainly isn't transitory, right? If it were transitory, you would get a refund at some point, right? Prices would come back down. Now I looked at the hotel, and the hotel was even worse because not only had it gone up, but the currency had also gone up relative to the dollar, right? And I thought, gee, I wish back then I had the foresight to buy a lot of Polish currency. And then it occurred to me I bought an even stronger currency, right? Silver, gold, or platinum, right? Anyway, so this is you should think of this as how much am I getting taxed every day that I'm holding the dollar, right? This is not prices going up, and it certainly isn't transitory, right? Transitory would be like you paid taxes on your unemployment and then you got a refund last year, right? Even that wasn't transitory because it was subject to inflation as well, right?